So you have been thinking of moving to Cambridge, Ontario? Well, don't, because in this video, I'm going to lay out the top 5 reasons why Cambridge may not be the best fit for you and your family. And you're going to hear from someone who has lived in Cambridge for a few years before me and my family decided to make a call to move to Kitchener. And these are some of the reasons that prompted us to move out of Cambridge. So stick around as I get right into it. Hello and welcome. If this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living, eating, playing, sleeping, working in Cambridge, Kitchener and Waterloo, then subscribe below and tap on the bell for notification so you can be the first to learn about the current market in Kitchener, Cambridge, Waterloo and surrounding towns. My name is Dixit. I'm a local real estate agent serving Cambridge, Kitchener, Waterloo and surrounding areas. I do get calls, texts, emails from people just like yourself looking for help in making their move to Cambridge, Kitchener, Waterloo, and I absolutely love it. So whether you're thinking of moving in 9 days or 90 days, be sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or you can even schedule a Zoom call. All the info right in the description below. I'll be more than happy to help you make a smooth move to Cambridge, Kitchener, Waterloo, and surrounding towns. Right, here's the number one reason why you may not want to move to Cambridge is because Cambridge is too suburban and quiet in comparison to even other towns within the Waterloo region. I will not even compare, let's say if you moved from Greater Toronto suburb or Toronto for that matter, you will definitely get a cultural shock moving to Cambridge. But it really comes down to, let's say, things to do outdoors in terms of shopping or dining. You have one big mall in Cambridge, it's called Cambridge Central Mall. So, and same with dining, right? You don't have a lot of options other than the Galt and Hespeler, where you have few restaurants, few local and the franchise casual dining restaurants. But other than that, the main part or the fun stuff that's happening within the region is mainly in Kitchener and more so in Waterloo. So living in Cambridge, you're kind of far away from Waterloo. You're not going to be able to commute to Waterloo during a weekday evening to, grab a quick bite at a casual dining restaurant just because you want to. It's still about like half an hour drive each way pretty much from most part of Cambridge, I should say. So that's the thing. You're kind of missing out the fun even within the region versus, let's say, if you were to live in Kitchener, where I am right now. I mean, yesterday my son wanted a shaved ice and I could easily, head down to uptown Waterloo where there are a bunch of places selling shaved ice. So that's about 10 to 12 minute drive from where I am right now in Kitchener. So that's the thing. You're kind of isolated and away from the fun stuff. It's not as accessible as you would like, especially if you're moving from some of the bigger towns. You will definitely find Cambridge very suburban and very quiet. So keep that in mind. Right, my number 2 is going to be the limited job opportunities when it comes to Cambridge, Ontario. So while Kitchener and Waterloo has its own self-sustaining, job market, which is diverse in nature, Cambridge, on the other hand, predominantly is driven by industries such as manufacturing, logistics, warehousing, supply chain, trades, transportation, and some retail jobs. You will not find industries other than that where you will have a lot of job opportunities. So if I were to even today pull up on the web some of the main employers or the top employers in the town of Cambridge, the names that will come up will be Frito-Lay, Loblaws, Toyota Manufacturing, ATS Automation, Rockwell Automation. So these are some of the major employers driving the work economy in Cambridge. And as you can understandably imagine, some of the industries I named earlier, those are the industries these employers are primarily engaged in. So the work economy is not as diverse in Cambridge. Depending on what your field of work might be, Cambridge may not be the best fit for you, or at least if you do move in, be prepared that you might have to commute outside of the town, at least to find a work. Right, my number 3 is gonna be the dated real estate in Cambridge. That's actually one of the reasons why we actually had to move out of Cambridge. I'll give you an example. We have northern end of Cambridge where we have neighborhoods like Hespeler Village, Silver Heights, and East Hespeler, which are very close to 401. And then you have on the southern end areas like Langs Farm, Preston, at the same time Galt and Blair. Now, all those neighborhoods, you will not find a lot of newer construction that's built within last 5 to 10 years. Even on the northern end, majority of the homes you'll find at the latest being early 2000s up to 2005. So if you are a buyer who is looking for a construction that's not older than last 5 to 10 years, I can tell you your options in Cambridge are going to be few and far apart. Now, I do want to add a note that we have seen some recent developments happening in the past few years, So the landscape of the real estate is changing here in Cambridge as well. We have a few active builders and the active communities right now. To name a few, River Mill is there on the northern end, Westwood Village is there on the southern end, and of course we have Branthaven right by the 401 and Hespeler. So real estate landscape is changing, but I can assure you, if you compare with the other towns like Kitchener versus Cambridge in terms of newer construction, your options are going to be far better in Kitchener versus Cambridge. And to be honest, that's one of the reasons that prompted us to move out of Cambridge, because we were not able to find a lot of new construction that we wanted to be not more than 10 years old. So that's why I can tell you, Cambridge may not be the best option if you're looking for a rather newer constructions. My number 4 is going to be the cost of living in Cambridge, Ontario. There was a time not too long ago where you could move from one of the bigger towns from Greater Toronto area and see your household expense go down significantly. Now that has definitely changed over a period of time thanks to the increase in rental prices here, and which is driven primarily by a couple of factors. So we have increasing student population in the Waterloo region, primarily the Conestoga College Doon campus, which is at the border of Kitchener and Cambridge. We have a lot of student population which is driving the rental demand in parts of Cambridge and Kitchener. But at the same time, even if you look at the real estate prices, predominantly it's because of the net migration that's happening from other parts of Ontario, mainly from Greater Toronto suburbs to this region, which is driving the real estate prices pretty high. Now, all those factors are definitely a direct driver for increasing cost of living, whether you're renting or whether you own a place in the Waterloo region or Cambridge. The cost of living has definitely increased over a period of time. It's no longer as affordable as it used to be living here in Cambridge. So definitely do weigh your options, especially if you do have to commute back and forth quite often. Then it may not be as lucrative as you might think it is to move here in Cambridge. And the final one on my list is the public transport network here in Cambridge. Let's talk about it. Cambridge, when it comes to getting around by public transportation, is not as accessible as you would like to be. I'm not even comparing to some of the bigger towns like Greater Toronto area or Toronto downtown, where they have established public transport network. But even within the Waterloo region, if I were to take an example, we have an LRT system here that was introduced back in 2019 that is only connecting Waterloo and Kitchener for now. So we have a LRT that goes all the way from end of Waterloo to the Conestoga Mall to Kitchener Fairview Park Mall. These are the two major transit hubs. And then from there, you do have to take a bus route that takes you to Cambridge Ainsley Terminal. So eventually the goal is for them to expand the LRT system and the network further to add Cambridge to the LRT network. But as of right now, getting around by public transit can be challenging and frustrating during the weekends, late evenings, and the holidays. And even during the weekdays, the interior part of the city is not as well connected to the public transit network. So keep that in mind. Even today, Cambridge does remain primarily a car-friendly town. While these are some of the few reasons why Cambridge may not be the fit for you and your family, I do understand that, at the end of the day, it's a personal and subjective decision for each family to choose the town they want to live in. At the end of the day, you want to make sure, nonetheless, it does fit the lifestyle that you and your family are looking for, whatever that town you decide to move in. But whether it is Cambridge, Kitchener, or Waterloo, you can nonetheless do reach out to me. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or you can schedule a Zoom call. All the info right in the description below. I'll be more than happy to help you make a smooth move to Cambridge, Kitchener, Waterloo, and surrounding towns. Until next time, well, I do hope to show you around town.